Hello everyone, this video is going to be about special shapes. Um, we already know about special shapes that are built in the shape menu, like a star, let's say. But we now have a user-defined shape menu. Now there's nothing in here, but to add things, you can add objects by clicking this. So if I want to add that star as a shape, I can just go ahead and do that. And then it's going to ask me what to call it. Now, we can just call it a name. It's going to go in the top level. But if we actually go ahead and give it a folder name and then the name, then we'll have a pop-out so that we can organize them. So I'm just going to call these stars because we're going to do a few. And then I'm going to call this just star. Once you do that, you'll notice that stars are now added to the menu. So if I do this, it's just like the other shape menu. But let's have a little fun with this. So I'm going to go ahead and do my star again, and then I'm going to do a second star again, like probably up here, okay? And then I'm going to join them together. So I'm going to use the join tool over here to join them together into one star. Now I have this funky looking star. I'm going to go ahead and add this as well. I'm going to use the same name. It's important to use the same name, otherwise it won't show up in the same menu. And we call this funky. I don't know if that's how you spell funky, but okay. All right, so now we have two stars in here. We have funky. Now what's neat about this is if you create a shape that is kind of something that's fun for you, and you want to get kind of like artistic with your layout. Let's say you're doing a pillow or something. Let's say this is a pillow. I can go ahead and turn on the auto repeat last mode function, and that will keep on repeating the commands as you click. So you have to keep on going back. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do funky of different sizes on the screen and just kind of, play around with the orientations back and forth and the sizes and um, like this. Okay. All right. And then I kind of am done. But you can see that once we stitch this up, that's kind of fun looking. I mean, we got different sizes and orientations of the same pattern, which creates a fun look. So that's you can kind of create your own things that way. Another thing you can do, which is kind of a strange approach, is let's say we wanted to do a chain of things. So I'm going to go ahead and do a chain of paisleys of different sizes like this. We're going to have 3 paisleys like that. Let's see if that looks any good. Maybe I'll move the middle one down a little bit. All right, so we'll move the middle one down a little bit. And see what that looks like. Okay, that seems to be nice and uniform. So now what we're going to do is we're going to join these again using the join tool. I didn't do that right. Okay. And then you probably think to yourself, well, gosh, they're connected there. I don't really want that. But don't worry. We're going to fix this later. We'll see how it's fixed later. But we're going to make this a shape. Now, it's important to know that the up and down direction is the shape size maker. So it's going to go kind of strange shape. So I'm going to rotate this so that it's on axis with this. So I'm going to turn the little snap on. Oh, the snap is on. Okay, never mind. I'm going to turn the little snap on, and I'm going to snap this there. All right. Then I'm going to go and add this shape. And this shape, I'm not going to give it a folder. I'm just going to say triple Paisley. All right. So now when we go and do the triple Paisley, you'll see that we got this. And so we're doing a lot of Paisleys at once. But if we wanted to, again, do the similar thing with this, and go ahead and do different Paisleys around. You probably don't think this is really that great, but I wanted to show you something here after we've done these. So we put a bunch of Paisleys out, but we really don't want them to be like this. We want them to be separate Paisleys. So all we have to do is choose the line delete curve tool and just start separating them like this. But instead of having to draw all those individually, we kind of have them sort of in a shape. Oops, didn't want to do that. Don't know what I just did there. I guess you couldn't find, I wasn't accurate enough. Okay, you have to be right on the line so it can find where you're trying to get rid of. And I guess it didn't like what I did before. But now you can see that the Paisleys actually look kind of more interesting. Let me change the stitch size to something smaller so you can see it looking better. I mean, that's kind of fun. I mean, it's just kind of a splashy, kind of watery look, but you were able to do many repetitive patterns. And so that makes some things, part of design is sort of a repetition and a flowing type of thing. And so to do this kind of thing manually and getting all these lined up in a way probably is much harder than using the special shapes. So that's pretty cool. Now, if you want to manage your special shapes, you can go to Manage, and you can move things around. So I can move this down, and so you can see that there's a folder here for stars. It's going to put these still in the order they are. I can move Paisley above the folder, and you notice that Funky and Star will be in that order on the drop-down menu. So it'll be Funky and Star. If I move Funky back up or down under Star, it'll be Star Funky. So that's how you organize it. And if you don't really want something, you can just go ahead and delete it, and then that shape will be gone from your file. All right. So the file that gets generated, oops, I didn't want to do that. But anyway, the file that gets generated is located in the program file folder. You can't really modify that file because it'll keep on being overwritten when you exit the program. So really the only way that you should be editing the file is using this Manage Shapes. And if you end up wanting to change your design, just go ahead. Let's say I wanted to change the star design, the Star Funky design, and add something else to it. Let's say I wanted to add a circle at the base. I just go ahead and draw the Star Funky, add my circle, okay, like that, and then go ahead and join them, and then just add another one. And I think I might have to call this Star and then give it another name. I don't think it overwrites it. I think it just adds it. So we'll have to do Funky 2, just so we keep track. And then we go in here to Manage Shapes. We just go ahead and delete Funky. And then we just go ahead and rename Funky back like that. And we end up having the new Funky available to us with the circle. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, so you can have a lot of fun with these shapes. I think it will expand some of the possibilities of design related things because a lot of cool things are just repetition, and the way that you lay out the repetition actually makes it look like a fun you know, kind of motify fabric, toile fabric or something. Toile? Is it called toile? I don't know how to pronounce that French word. Toile? Anyway, um, there you go. So that's kind of fun. And I think the fun part, the reason it's fun is because it's a repeating pattern, but at different sizes and stuff. Yeah, so have fun with this new feature. I really enjoyed creating it.